Oh, you thought the Bino and Chrisean saga was finally over? Cute. Because just when the internet started to breathe again, Bino decided to drop a PSA that hit harder than a blue-faced diss track at 3 a.m. I'm talking jaw-dropping, finger scroll-stopping. Wait. He said what? Levels of drama. This isn't your average breakup. Nah, this is a full-blown digital earthquake shaking up timelines from Instagram to TikTok, like it's the end of celebrity peace treaties. Bino didn't just speak his truth. He detonated it, and somehow managed to drag Chrisean, Blueface, and half of Black Twitter into the blast radius. And when I say his PSA changed everything, I mean everything. The internet flipped, group chats went wild, and fans started playing detective faster than the FBI with Wi-Fi. This whole situation makes the Kardashians look like a church choir rehearsal. There's heartbreak, betrayal, receipts, and the kind of drama that has Zeus Network executives foaming at the mouth. So buckle up, because what Bino just confessed might be the most chaotic breakup twist of the decade. And trust me, Chrisean did not see this one coming. So here's how it all started. The internet's favorite love-hate relationship between Hood Trophy Bino and Chrisean Rock, a combo that was more volatile than Mentos in a Coke bottle. You'd think after all the yelling, crying, and public makeups, this chapter would finally close. But nope. Apparently Bino had one last bomb to drop, and baby, it was nuclear. See, the first red flag popped up when fans noticed Bino went eerily quiet on social media. Like ghosted planet Earth quiet. No stories, no lives, no subliminal posts. For a guy who once dropped a diss track over spilled juice, this silence was suspicious. Everyone thought maybe he was just rebranding, until that PSA hit like a thunderclap in an empty room. In the clip, Bino looks calm, too calm. The man who used to yell, "I'm done with the drama," every other week suddenly spoke with the serenity of someone about to ruin lives with facts. He started off saying, "I need to get something off my chest." For real this time. And that's when social media collectively stopped breathing. Within minutes, the video went supernova. X, turned into a crime scene. The hashtags the Bino speaks and Chrisean exposed started trending faster than an AI-generated Drake song. Fans grabbed popcorn, ring lights, and microphones like they were about to hold a press conference in their bedrooms. Bino didn't call names right away, but you could feel it. The shade was heavy enough to block out the sun. He said, "When you love someone who loves chaos, eventually the chaos starts loving you back." Whew. That line alone made half the internet stand up like they were in church. Then came the twist nobody was ready for. He hinted at betrayal, lies, and a fake narrative that had been haunting him since his relationship with Chrisean went public. He talked about clout demons, toxic loyalty, and how he kept quiet to protect someone's image. Oh, he knew exactly what he was doing. Every sentence was a breadcrumb, and fans were sprinting through the comments section trying to piece together the full puzzle. And then, he said the line that broke the algorithm. "I wasn't the problem. I was the cover-up." The internet exploded. One person tweeted, "Not Bino calling himself a human PR shield," while another said, "This man just turned his breakup into a TED Talk on toxicity." Within hours, gossip blogs caught the scent. The Neighborhood Talk, Hollywood Unlocked, The Shade Room, you name it. They all had screenshots, quotes, and reaction videos up before Bino could even refresh his own feed. Suddenly, what seemed like a breakup PSA turned into a national gossip emergency. And guess who entered the chat? You guessed it, Chrisean Rock herself. She didn't waste a second. She hopped on Instagram Live with that, "I'm not mad, but I'm mad" energy. You know the one. The voice trembling, but the Wi-Fi strong. She started off saying, "Why y'all acting like y'all don't know me and Bino been done?" But by the fifth sentence, she was pacing, pointing, and yelling at invisible people off camera. Classic Chrisean chaos. But here's the thing. Bino's PSA wasn't some random rant. It was calculated. Every word felt planned, like he had been scripting this moment in his notes app for months. He wasn't messy, he was methodical. He didn't spill tea. He brewed an entire Starbucks menu and served it piping hot. Fans started digging deeper. Old pictures resurfaced, old lives rewatched, and receipts from forgotten podcasts started getting reposted. One fan even found an old clip where Chrisean said, "Bino better not play with me 'cause I got everything saved." Well, looks like both of them kept their receipts. Meanwhile, TikTok detectives, the FBI in wigs and ring lights, went to work. They were breaking down tone, background noise, and even Bino's eye movements like it was a lie detector test. One viral theory claimed the PSA wasn't about love at all, but about industry betrayal, that Bino had been protecting Chrisean from exposing something major. By now, Bino's follower count was skyrocketing. The PSA turned into a trending audio clip. People started remixing it into songs, adding sad piano music, dramatic violins, and even gospel choirs. Someone tweeted, "Bino out here giving us heartbreak sermons like he trying to get a Netflix special." But the real heat came when Bino posted one more story. Just a black screen with the words, "Sometimes silence was my mistake." Boom. 4 words. Millions of views. Everyone, and I mean everyone, had a theory. Was he calling Chrisean manipulative? Was he finally admitting something the public didn't know? Or was this all an elaborate setup for a new song drop? Because let's be honest, in 2025, heartbreak equals marketing. But this didn't feel like clout chasing. There was pain behind those words. For the first time, Bino wasn't flexing jewelry, cars, or shows. He was flexing vulnerability. And somehow, that hit harder than any punchline. Still, the internet doesn't do empathy. It does entertainment. People started making memes comparing Chrisean and Bino's relationship to Jocelyn and Stevie J, Blueface and everyone, and even Kanye and Kim's post-divorce chaos. The comments were half jokes, half psychology dissertations. One viral post read, "Bino out here healing while Chrisean still fighting shadows." This season of their lives is giving Love and Hip Hop Spiritual Warfare Edition. And honestly, that's exactly what it felt like. Behind the sarcasm, though, there was a darker undertone. You could sense that whatever Bino was holding back, it was big. His PSA didn't just end a relationship. It opened a Pandora's box of secrets the public didn't even know existed. The way he spoke, the pauses, the phrasing, it all sounded like someone who had seen too much, forgiven too much, and finally snapped, and that's when the whispers started. Maybe this wasn't just a breakup. Maybe this was a warning, because as one fan perfectly put it, if Bino's PSA was just the appetizer, the main course is about to break the internet. Now, if part 1 was the earthquake, part 2 was the aftershock that cracked the internet in half. Because after Bino's PSA, everyone from celebrities to meme pages to your cousin's group chat suddenly became relationship analysts and truth prophets overnight. Within hours, Twitter Spaces popped up titled, "Did Chrisean play Bino?" Bino's PSA explained with receipts. And my personal favorite, "Healing from Toxic Women," featuring Future's discography. People weren't just reacting. They were holding full-blown digital therapy sessions. But here's where things got real messy. Because right when the dust started to settle, Bino decided to post again. This time, a cryptic black and white clip with the caption, "Sometimes loyalty makes you a liar." Oh, that line broke the simulation. Instantly, the internet went into detective mode, trying to decode every syllable like it was a secret Da Vinci message. Did he mean Chrisean was hiding something? Or that he'd been covering for her all along? And then boom! Here come the celebrities, diving in headfirst like it's the Met Gala of mess. First up, Blueface himself decided to give his 2 cents, because apparently, no drama involving Chrisean can exist without him pulling up like a chaotic side quest. He went live laughing, saying, "Man, I told y'all, that girl crazy." Bino just now figuring that out? Cue the petty grin, cue the smoke. Of course, fans went ballistic. Because if there's one thing the internet loves more than chaos, it's Blueface inserting himself into chaos that wasn't even his to begin with. Within 10 minutes, someone made a meme of Blueface holding a microphone with the caption, "Nobody, Blueface. Let me speak on this real quick." Meanwhile, Chrisean was still on her own live, talking in circles, calling people out, and accidentally confirming things she probably shouldn't have. At one point she said, "Bino know what he did. He can't play victim when he was in the mix too." Oh, so now it's mutual destruction? This is sounding less like a breakup and more like a season finale. But wait, enter Summer Walker, because apparently this drama had energy so chaotic it summoned R&B commentary. She tweeted, "This generation too loud with their pain. Heal offline, y'all scaring the vibes," which naturally made the situation worse, because the internet loves to fight self-awareness with sarcasm. The comments were brutal. Not Summer talking about healing while dropping breakup songs every quarter. Girl, you part of the soundtrack to this toxicity. And in true social media fashion, now everyone was in it. Fans, rappers, influencers, YouTubers, podcasters, the whole ecosystem of gossip came alive like a digital zombie apocalypse. Then came the memes. Oh, the memes. Then came the memes. Oh, the memes. Someone edited Bino's PSA over dramatic Titanic music. Another put Chrisean's reaction live next to a Michael Bay explosion clip. There was one TikTok where a creator reenacted the entire situation with action figures. It got over 3 million views in 12 hours, and through all this, one thing became clear. This wasn't just a breakup story anymore. This was a pop culture event. Every few minutes, new screenshots popped up claiming to reveal what really happened. One alleged voice note showed Chrisean threatening to air everything out, while another supposed DM thread suggested Bino had been covering for her behavior behind the scenes. None of it confirmed, but all of it entertaining. Even Shade Room teens jumped in, posting a poll asking who you believe, Bino or Chrisean. It was 60% Bino, 40% Chrisean, 100% messy. But the wildest moment came when a random YouTuber dropped a documentary titled The Untold Truth of Bino and Chrisean's Toxic Love. It had dramatic music, slow-motion screenshots, and a whole 30-minute breakdown of their relationship timeline like it was an FBI briefing. That video alone hit 1 million views overnight. At this point, Bino's PSA had turned into something much bigger than he expected. His comment section was full of strangers calling him the voice of the healed, the toxic whisperer, and the new future with feelings. But deep down, fans sensed something else, something darker. Because after that second post, Bino disappeared again. No tweets, no stories, nothing. He just vanished into thin digital air. That silence? Oh, it screamed louder than any diss track could. Theories multiplied. Some said he was working on a song about it. Others claimed he was in talks with Zeus Network for a new show called Bino's Truth. And some even believed Chrisean's team had hit him with a legal warning. And then, the third twist came. A leaked voice clip surfaced online. It was short, blurry, and clearly recorded from a phone speaker. But the voice sounded like Bino. In it, he said, "Y'all think I'm lying, but she played me. I kept her secrets because I actually cared." Boom, explosion, viral chaos. Hashtags reignited. New think pieces dropped. Theories evolved into conspiracies. People started connecting dots that didn't even exist. One TikTok even tried to prove the PSA was actually a music video teaser based on lighting consistency. Like, come on. TikTok investigators need jobs in the CIA at this point. Even random brands joined in. Slim Jim's Twitter account posted, "Bino's PSA got more layers than our snacks." Like, why are you here, Slim Jim? Go sell meat sticks. But the moment that really flipped everything upside down? Bino's mom posted a cryptic message on Facebook. It said, "Sometimes your kids learn love from the wrong people. But God has a way of revealing truth." Mic drop. Facebook antis went wild. That post had more reactions than a Kanye tweet. Suddenly people realized, oh, this is deeper than we thought. This isn't just social media beef. This is family-level healing drama. At this point, Chrisean's camp was scrambling. Her PR team dropped a statement saying, "Chrisean wishes Bino the best and asks for privacy during this time." Which, let's be real, is celebrity code for we're panicking but trying to look classy. And right as the statement hit, someone in Bino's circle reposted it with the caption, "Privacy wasn't a priority when y'all were posting lies." The crowd gasped. The popcorn burned. The internet couldn't handle it. Suddenly, what started as a breakup PSA had turned into a digital civil war, Bino Nation versus Chrisean's Chaos Army. Both sides posting memes, stories, subtweets, and edits like it was the final boss battle of love and reputation. But underneath all that noise, one question echoed across every platform. What did Bino really mean by "the truth will hurt worse than the lies"? That question became the center of everything. Fans wanted answers. Industry insiders whispered about NDAs, secret recordings, and something big that hadn't dropped yet. And when people asked Bino's close friend about it, he simply replied, "You'll see soon enough." Boom. Suspense. Unfinished business. Because one thing's for sure. When Bino said his PSA changed everything, he wasn't lying. The love story turned into a legend, and the legend turned into a scandal nobody could look away from. If you thought it couldn't get any crazier, congratulations, you underestimated 2025. because just when everyone thought the Bino versus Chrisean saga had finally simmered down, the aftershocks hit harder than ever. See, this wasn't just about a breakup anymore. This was about image, legacy, and who was going to win the internet sympathy Olympics. The morning after the chaos, fans woke up to find both of them, Bino and Chrisean, trending again. Not for music, not for shows, but for something far juicier, the fallout. Let's start with Bino. The man had gone ghost. No posts, no lives, not even a random lyric tweet. Just radio silence. And you know what happens when a celebrity goes quiet in the middle of a scandal? The internet loses its collective mind. People started saying Bino was healing. Others said he was rebranding. One TikTok even claimed he was in the studio recording an entire heartbreak album titled PSA, The Tape, Fans. We're so deep in the rabbit hole that Spotify probably thought they were doing research. Meanwhile, Chrisean wasn't taking the silent route, oh no. She did what she does best, clap back, cry, repeat. She posted a series of emotional Instagram stories saying, "Everybody want to paint me as the villain, but nobody talk about what I've been through." Cue the dramatic music. Cue the eyeliner tears. But the internet wasn't buying all of it. Comment sections were flooded with, "Girl, we love you, but accountability is free," and "We can't all be the victim every season." And that's when things took a spiritual turn. Out of nowhere, Bino's pastor, yes, his pastor, went live saying, "Sometimes God removes people not because they're bad, but because their chapter in your story is over." Fans were like, "Hold up, even the church in on this?" Bro, when the clergy start subtweeting, you know it's deep. But the biggest twist? Leaked screenshots surfaced allegedly showing Bino turning down an interview offer to set the record straight. One message read, "Let them talk. I'll speak when it's time." That single quote? Viral, memed, tattooed on captions. It became the heartbreak slogan of the year. TikTok creators turned it into skits, edits, even motivational videos. The irony? Bino was trending for not talking. In a world obsessed with oversharing, silence became his biggest weapon. Meanwhile, Chrisean's camp went into full PR mode, staged photo ops, vague tweets about new beginnings, and the occasional inspirational quote that somehow always sounded like a threat. But fans noticed something else. Her engagement numbers were dropping. The more she talked, the more people started switching sides. Commenters were writing stuff like, "We were rooting for you, Chrisean, but the energy ain't hitting the same." Then, because chaos has no chill, Blueface jumped back in. Again, he tweeted, "Told y'all to stop playing house with industry dudes." Sir, nobody invited you to this barbecue, and yet you're flipping burgers like you own the grill. Of course, that tweet set everything off again. Within minutes, Blueface and Bino were trending together, not for a collab, but for a digital duel. One fan commented, "This man treats other people's drama like it's his mixtape rollout." Accurate. And through it all, something shifted. The tone changed. What started as drama turned into a deeper cultural moment. People started discussing mental health, loyalty, and fame addiction. Even serious podcasts like The Pivot and I Am Athlete brought up Bino's PSA as an example of how fame warps young artists. That's when Bino finally reappeared. Not on live, not with a rant, but with a single Instagram post, a black and white photo of him looking out the window, with the caption, "You can't heal in the same environment that hurt you." That post broke the internet. Celebrities commented. Fans reposted it. Every heartbreak page turned it into wallpaper. Even Drake's burner account, allegedly, liked it. And you could feel it. The tide had turned. The narrative flipped from Bino's messy to Bino's wise, from drama king to the one that got away. The internet had officially rebranded him from chaos to clarity, but Chrisean wasn't done. A week later, she dropped a live stream titled "Setting the Record Straight," except it did the exact opposite. In between defending herself and taking shots at fake narratives, she accidentally confirmed that some of what Bino hinted at was, in fact, true. That live? Yeah, it didn't help her case. One fan wrote, "She trying to clear her name with a fog machine." Another said, "Every time she speaks, Bino gains another 100K followers." And that's exactly what happened. Bino's name started trending for the right reasons. He became a symbol of quiet strength, poetic revenge, and emotional maturity. Basically, the male version of what the internet calls soft life energy. Brands started calling. Podcast invites rolled in. Even Rolling Loud allegedly wanted him for a panel on navigating fame. Like, sir, you just survived digital warfare. Now you're the guru? That's evolution. But here's the plot twist nobody saw coming. A week after everything seemed calm, a snippet leaked, allegedly from Bino's new track. And the lyrics? Straight venom. I was your peace in the middle of your storm. You mistook healing for control. Now you're gone. I gave truth, you gave views, the guess who won? Mike. Drop fans went feral. Comments flooded with, this man turned heartbreak into a Grammy nomination. This man turned heartbreak into a Grammy nomination. Memes exploded. Someone even edited the song over a slow-motion clip of Chrisean crying on live. Millions of views. By now, everyone knew this wasn't just about clout. This was personal. Bino's PSA had officially evolved into a full-blown cultural reset. But the real power move? Bino ended his new music teaser with the same 4 words from his first viral story. Sometimes silence was my mistake, a full circle moment. The statement that started it all now turned into art. The internet collectively lost it. People flooded his comments. He's in his revenge arc. Chrisean dropped chaos. Bino dropped closure. We need this man on Red Table Talk. Immediately. Even critics who used to dismiss him as just another rapper with drama started, calling him one of the most self-aware voices of his generation. Meanwhile, Chrisean's reputation took a serious hit. Her fan base started splintering. Some defended her, others admitted they were exhausted. Her latest posts got flooded with comments saying things like, "You need peace, not press." And for the first time in years, she went quiet. No lives, no cryptic messages. Just silence. The irony? The very silence Bino was once criticized for, now surrounded her. Because at the end of the day, what started as a messy breakup PSA had turned into something much bigger. A story about truth, image, and redemption. Bino walked away from the chaos not as a villain, not even as a victim, but as the guy who finally learned how to control the narrative without saying a word. And that, my friends, is how you turn heartbreak into headlines, drama into destiny, and a messy breakup into a digital redemption story. The PSA that started as pain, it became poetry. The relationship that looked like the end, it became the origin story of Bino's comeback. Because sometimes, you don't need to win the argument. You just need to outgrow the noise. And if there's one thing we learned from this entire saga, it's that silence may not be golden, but it's definitely viral. And there it is, y'all. The tea kettle officially exploded. Bino didn't just drop a PSA, he dropped an emotional nuke on the internet. From secret heartbreaks to exposed receipts, this whole saga turned into a soap opera the Kardashians could never compete with. And let's be honest, by the time you finish watching this, even Zeus Network's drama looks like a kindergarten talent show. But here's the real question. Who's telling the truth? Was Bino being real? Or was this just a viral masterclass in PR damage control? Because one thing about these new school celebrities, they know how to turn pain into promo faster than you can say exclusive interview dropping soon. So before the next meltdown goes live, hit that like button like it owes you rent, smash subscribe like you're tired of fake friends, and drop your wildest theory in the comments. Because on Expose Express, we don't just spill tea. We flood the internet with it. Turn those notifications on, because you already know the next scandal's probably uploading right now. Somebody's about to cry on IG Live, somebody's gonna clap back on Twitter, and somebody's career might not survive the weekend. This is your host signing off. And remember, on Expose Express, the truth doesn't just leak, it goes viral. It goes viral.